Wow. Happy summer here in Payne County, America. For some reason, I think they moved the sun about 400,000 miles closer to us, and it's like right at us, engulfing us in its heat waves. Hey, welcome to Payne County. This is the Pastors of Payne show. Father Kerry Wakulich here, and so we're waiting for Father Lawrence Nwachukwu, who has arrived, and he's just settling in here in Stillwater, Oklahoma. I've had some interim guests. It's been Clay Furley the last couple weeks, and Clay and I have been talking about the spiritual life, and we talked about atheism at one point in time, and hopefully maybe you did some research on that. When did we do one, Rob, on Franz Jägerstatter and the spiritual life, and how to like just grow in holiness through your relationship with the Lord Jesus and his Father, and how to be powered by the Holy Spirit to be a faithful disciple who is entering into this divine intimacy. Not just like, oh, I'm just going into a Bible study, which is beautiful, or I'm going to be in a small faith group, which is beautiful. How are we growing in divine intimacy in relationship with the life of the Trinity, who we've been baptized into? So we've been talking about that and the importance of, baptism, of freedom from original sin. So that's been, Clay and I've been doing that for a couple of weeks now, and it's been good stuff. Well, Clay's wife had a baby. I mean, it wasn't like unexpected. We knew it was going to happen. Is the inevitable. Lucas, what's his name? Lucas Doncic.
Lucas.
Oh no, Lucas Doncic is a basketball player for the Dallas Mavericks. Sorry, Lucas Doncic Furley.
That's Luka.
Oh, that's Luka. Yeah. Well, your nephew is about to be born here in a little bit.
Yeah, his name's Luka.
His name is Luka Doncic.
Future saint in the making.
Oh, future saint in the making. So I'm here with our other interim guest who's been on a couple times before. You all know him as Brett Akins. I know him as Brett the Hitman Akins, just like the wrestler from the 1990s. But Brett, introduce yourself. So the good people of God may have slipped their mind. It never slips my mind who you are, but tell them where you're from and give the people in your hometown a little shout out, because this goes out on Catholic radio, goes out on Pete FM. It gets shared on social media, and they're like, whatever happened to Brett Akins? And people are like, well, I heard Brett Akins, went off to the loony bin. I heard Brett Akins is a professional baseball player for the Houston Astros, and that's why they're so good this season.
Not quite.
Tell them who you are, Brett Akins.
So I'm Brett Akins. I'm the Director of Development here at St. John, and this is entering into my third year at St. John.
Really?
And it's been the best thing to happen to me and my family. And so I'm married with 2 kids, and my wife is Taylor. And she's actually been working here for the past 8 years with Father Kerry.
Oh, that's why she's getting canonized real soon.
And she's going to skip some time in purgatory and go straight to heaven, I think. No, I'm kidding. But we have 2 kids, Beckett and Genevieve. Beckett's 2 years old, and he keeps me very busy, keeps me moving. And then Genevieve is almost 9 months old. And so we chose to name them after saints with hopes of them becoming one day saints. And I grew up in a small town in Oklahoma. Most probably can't pronounce it or spell it, but it's called Hartshorn.
Let me guess. Let me spell it. HARTSHORN.
E. Bam. You're 1 letter off. No participation trophy.
Hartshorn.
Hartshorn. So it's about 2.5 hours southeast of Stillwater, near McAllister.
Big
and
Mac.
Population might be 4,000, 5,000 maybe.
Really?
And so grew up playing sports. That was kind of my church as a kid growing up. And
my church. We're going to have to, that is an episode right there.
That's a good topic, especially sports and young families and kids and how you don't want to make it become your worship.
Yeah.
So played college baseball at Eastern Oklahoma State College for 2 years, and then went to Southeastern Oklahoma State in Durant, Oklahoma. And most people know Durant as the Choctaw Nation Indian Casino. So right by the Texas border.
Aren't you Choctaw, though?
I'm Choctaw, Chickasaw. So, and then Beckett and Genevieve are. Taylor, my wife, unfortunately, is not Native American.
Her name was Uribe. And I was just watching Colombia play Brazil last week or something like that.
Right.
And there was a guy came off the pitch, Uribe.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, but he was from Colombia. I was like, what? No, he was Brazilian. He was Brazilian. And they're Portuguese. It's like right where Reno is in Western, like Reno is more west than Los Angeles, California.
Way
and
out
Reno is right there. And there's lots of, when you guys lived out there was lots of.
Yeah. So my wife and I got married in 2020, and then we spent a year in Bakersfield, California to be closer to family. And COVID happened in 2020 and everything changed. It was hard with, wearing masks everywhere, and there was mask restrictions to where mask was actually outside. And it got to the point where we felt like we couldn't fully profess our faith being out there. And so we decided to move back to Stillwater, which many call God's country.
Oh, yeah.
And I think this has been the best thing for our family, where we plan to plant our roots forever. And Taylor's parents actually moved out here, and her grandparents and her cousins, aunts and uncles.
Like 22 people.
So there's like 30, I think now. People are having kids. And so... Yeah, our family's grown. There's her other grandparents in California, and I'm working on them next. So we'll pray for them to move. But it's been great.
The dude's dad.
Yeah, Poppy. We call him Poppy Mitch.
Poppy Mitch. Oh.
And Grandma Kitty. So yeah, I'll have to tell them. We'll give them a little shout out on the podcast.
That's what you should do that.
They're great people. So.
Well, there's lots of good stuff going on. I mean, St. Francis, lots of beautiful ministry going on. They finished their summer camp over there. Kira's Iola running the show and the youth ministry, and they're starting some of their summer RCA programs up. That Man Is You. So if you go to St. Francis and you see the Mass Times, boom, get involved. Lots of beautiful stuff in the ministry world there. There's also some guys becoming deacons. Rob, do you know any of those guys? Oh, Rob is one. The two Robs and who? Oh, and Kendall Hansen. The two Robs.
Three great dudes.
Yeah, three holy saintly guys. Y'all used to go to St. John, didn't you? Yeah. So beautiful stuff going on in St. Francis. A couple other things going on. Sebastian Slagle was just accepted to be a seminarian of the Diocese of Tulsa, St. Francis Xavier parishioner. Luke Tompkins, Nick Bolin, who are students here, just went off to, one went to seminary in the Diocese of Tulsa and one went to Conception Abbey. So lots of beautiful stuff going on in the vocations world. Lots of weddings this summer between the two parishes. I think there's probably, just in this little town, there's like 27, 32 weddings, something like that this year. So it's just beautiful stuff. And on continuous RCI classes. So if you're out there and you're like, I won't become Catholic, well, ring us up. St. Francis for all the families and townies, St. John for all the college students. I just met with a couple today, and neither of them is baptized. They've been dating, and they want to become Catholic and get baptized. And so I'm going to start running them through the faith formation program. But that's not what we're talking about today.
That is all good news, though.
That's all good news. The good news is Texas and OU are gone from the Big 12.
See ya. Kick them to the curb.
B, see you later. For you people down there in Norman, enjoy being I saw the other day, and it said Sooners, and it was a doormat, and it said, welcome to the SEC.
They used to be first fruits. Now they're last fruits.
Well, they haven't played yet, but Texas did pretty good this past year.
Yeah.
Brent Venables, we'll see what happens. This is not an analysis. Brett, you and I live in this world where we throw tailgates during football season. We throw great parties, and we have 500 people come to our tailgates.
Right. If not more.
And people show up and they take tours of the church and they come by. Okay, what are you excited? The football season's coming up, and we're looking at it, and we got Utah, we got Houston.
Right.
Who else did we add? We added
Arkansas
University of Central Florida. Yeah, Arkansas.
Be a big game.
We're playing South Dakota State University.
They're actually pretty good.
At 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
On a hot day.
Yep.
Those dudes are going to be like roasted pheasant on my grill. They're going to be so cooked. They've never experienced heat like this unless they go to the sun. Anyway, so tell me what you're excited about football season. I mean, it's not like now, but it's coming up.
With St. John being very unique, just serving college students, a lot of our quote unquote donors, parishioners, parents go to other parishes on Sunday. And so this is a chance for a lot of our supporters, our alumni, to come to town and to get a chance to see what God is doing with the Student Center, to attend Mass here, and to enjoy community here that they don't get to see people every single day. And for me, it's a great opportunity for us to serve them and to sit down and build relationships with them. And it's also been really fun to see how much they've grown over the last year. Because if you would have told me there would be 1,000 to 2,000 people walking through our building, walking through the church on a given Saturday, I would have said you're crazy. I was thinking we might have 50 or 75 people, you know, 3 or 4 packs of hot dogs and some hamburgers, and we're going to call it good.
Yeah. You know what? You said that about like getting people coming back every year.
Right.
One of the families that like tailgates here that I'm currently disappointed in, the Roys, because one of them, he'll remain nameless, chose to have his wedding in the middle of football season. And now everybody's, he's probably not listening to this, but everybody's mad at him.
Yeah, it's a fun time to evangelize people as well, because there's a lot of people who aren't Catholic or maybe visiting teams are walking through and they're like, man, this is a great campus ministry, student center for a university that's not Catholic. And so we try to take that time to serve others and just spread the gospel. And so it's also, on the flip side, it's a big fundraiser for us at St. John. We raise upwards of $90,000 to $100,000 on tailgates and football parking. And that supports our campus ministry directly so we can serve more students at OSU. So we like to utilize it as an opportunity to generate more funding for our mission.
Yeah, exactly. So, side note, here's a shameless plug. If you're out there and you're like, I want to park for football game day and you want a season pass to park here, call Brett Akins.
Yeah, I have about 10 spots left to get filled. Please shoot me a call. Shoot me an email. You can find it on our website. And I'd be glad to speak with you. And everything is 100% tax deductible, so it would be a donation. So it's a great opportunity. I need to buy
a couple of those and write them off on my taxes. And
there you go.
And then sell them to the highest bidder. Man, put them an auction item.
There you go.
Yeah, when I moved here to Stillwater, you know, we had this kind of little church out here, and we started tailgating. And it was like 5 or 6 students. And then Chip Weir, remember Chip Weir?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Chip Weir, a great dude. He loaned us his grill, and I would cook. I would cook first the hairs off my arms, and Chip and I would just stand there, and I would like soaking charcoal with lighter fluid and having to heat up this entire grill. Gosh. And then we'd like put out a couple rinky-dink tents, and then we put tailgates inside one year, and that when we started with doing tailgates inside, so it started off with like 25 or 30 people. As a big one. And now we have these pretty much like family reunions on our property. I mean, you guys like all your friends from California to show up now.
Yeah.
The Central Valley and Bakersfield.
There's groups from Dallas, there's groups from Houston that are coming to town, there's groups from New York that are coming in. So it really is a cool opportunity to sit down with these people, because it is hard throughout the school year to get in front of these people and to steward them as much as we like. So we like to utilize that chance to just thank them for their generosity when they're in town. And our students are very helpful. A lot of them are donating their time and their support to help put on these tailgates. And so, you know, I don't want to use the word pride, but it's something we're really thankful that we get the opportunity to do with our location being right by Boone Pickens.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it is like the best corner in Stillwater. Yeah, I'm just saying it is the best corner, and because the campus is right out here. Like when football season shows up, like, well, I think we have a game. School starts on a Monday, and the next Saturday we are playing South Dakota State University. And not a lot of people will come to town. I know we're doing an alumni event here. Yeah. Which game is that?
September 21st.
That's not Arkansas.
No, I believe it is. You know what? Let me look real quick.
Are we playing the Charlotte Hornets? No, that's a basketball team.
That's an NBA. Used to be an NBA team. I don't think they're...
Oh, what? The Charlotte Hornets are gone?
Let's see.
Yeah, so we're going to do an alumni reunion. So you all alumni out there who are like, hey, I want to come to a football game. And if you're thinking to yourself, like, I also don't want to go into the stadium because I don't want to be stuck watching a game that's really terrible, then just hang out here and we watch the game online. I'll put it up on our big screen TV. It's not a TV. It's 300 inch.
It's like a
projection.
Yeah.
It's 18 feet by 25.
It's bigger than the TV in your home. I don't care who you are.
So what game is that?
It's September 21st. Utah's coming to town.
Ooh.
Time is to be determined. I'm hoping it's a 2:30 kick, so we can have some time before and after the game, and then you can go to mass after the game as well, receive the sacrament, and fulfill your daily obligation of Sunday mass. So it's a great opportunity to just get to town and hang out with us and see Father Kerry. I know a lot of people enjoy seeing you and seeing your antics. And
my antics?
Yeah, I think antics is a kind way to see what's going to go on.
What? Rob, why are you... What?
Rob's laughing.
Rob's giggling.
And that's all good stuff.
Oh, antics. You know what? It's it's real fun.
It is.
And I think what I love about football season and tailgating is our culture right now is people just usually sitting in front of a digital device, sitting in front of their TV, sitting in front of their phone, watching other people live life.
Yeah.
They're watching other people live life. Like everything on social media is like, how can I, and it's not always this way, but how can I make myself look like I'm having a really fantastic good time?
Right.
And football season, people are like, well, I don't like college athletics. Okay, you may not like college athletics, but it is where we find ourselves.
Yeah.
And it is, and I think it's also a magnificent opportunity for people to get together and just do family stuff together, to make memories. And these kids are starting to come back here now from their parents graduating in 2000. And that's kind of upsetting to me. You know why? Because those are the people I went to high school with. And their kids are coming back here as freshmen.
That makes you feel a little bit aged, huh?
Yeah.
Like fine wine.
Like gray, like Gandalf, like gray wine.
You know what also is cool is we've got some alumni groups. Some alumni groups are actually buying tailgate spots, and they're coming to town and wanted to actually start their own like subgroup here at St. John. Groups that graduated in 2019, 2020, 2018 era. And it's fun to see these people come back and want to spend every Saturday here in the fall and bringing their kids and their families and their grandparents and parents. And so it's almost like this family tree that happens. It started out with 10 people tailgating, and then word of mouth got out and people were walking by our tailgates and they're like, this is really fun. This is really cool. And it supports a mission, which I really believe in. And so it's kind of a win for everybody, I think.
Yeah. You know what we need to order for people, which is tent sandbags.
Yeah, that's something we're going to probably change up this year to make sure that we're not nailing.
A couple weeks ago, I hadn't been thinking about football season, and I'm outside on a Sunday morning, and I'm walking the property, and the sprinkler system comes on. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, water starts shooting out of the ground. This like geyser. I was like, did one of the sprinkler heads just pop off? And so I shut it all down, and there was a hole about the size of my pinky nail in the plastic pipe in the ground. And so when the guys came to fix it and put a repair kit, the local sprinkler system guys, I said, like, what happened? He goes, tent stake. I was like, what do you mean tent stake? And he's like, someone pounded in a tent stake and it hit the pipe and it made a perfect hole in it. So
yeah, we did a SWOT analysis after our initial year of doing tailgates, and we got some things we're changing, all good things. I think your first year, you don't know what's going to go well, what's not, and you really are all over the place on game days. You're talking to people, you're visiting with these couples, and so that was our first learning curve is we want to make sure everyone brings sandbags. We may even help provide some of those for people, but yeah, it's going to be fun. It's exciting to kick this year off again, and this year, people were actually texting me and calling me prior to me trying to go and feel like I'm trying to get all these people on board for buying spots. So it was nice that the first year was done really well so that people are already ready for year two.
I wonder, dude, I got a great idea. The Cimarron River's right down there.
Oh, man. This idea could go a lot of ways.
He said, oh, man. What if we just like got some sandbags and made it a staff day and we like go down to the Cimarron River and fill sandbags?
Hey, community service.
Community service, yeah. No? You don't seem too excited about it, Brett.
I don't think so.
You seem to be rubbing your knee and looking down at the ground.
I'm thinking head over to Lowe's and buy a bag for a few bucks and call it good. Or Amazon, they'll ship it to your house.
Yeah.
So
the Oklahoma County cops. Wait, what's the next county over? What's Payne? Logan County cops will call me like, yeah, there's some people down on the river digging a hole.
There's a dude with a collar and wearing chacos.
And a guy with an American flag pair of jorts.
Assuming that's me, yeah. That would be legendary.
Okay, so what's your... Give me something of like your kind of like your favorite, you personally, not somebody else.
Yeah.
Your favorite attire for tailgate season.
Man, I think you have to be traditional and go with the boots and jeans. But
really?
This comes with a caveat.
What? Okay, go. I want to hear.
You can't be doing this in September when it's 110. You have to wait until you get to the October, November, the homecoming type games. But you got to have an OSU polo. That's number one. And then two, I don't think you can do jorts. Those are not really in trend right now.
Who says? Who says?
I think you go golf shorts. And
really?
I think you can go with like, especially being out in the heat, you got to go with some comfortable, maybe some Hey Dude shoes.
Hey Dudes, what about some baby blue aviators like these bad Nancy's I just put on?
You could rock those. maybe 10 years ago may have been a little better.
Maybe if I was like a cop on chips, I could be sporting these things. When O'Brien was on this podcast, he wouldn't let me do this stuff. Now that I'm in charge, Robbie may want to be starting to be in charge of this podcast.
Hey, we're evangelizing, but also we're having fun.
Yeah. So a OSU polo, not a tank top,
golf shorts, and then Hey Dude shoes, the slip-on shoes, because when it's 100 degrees, it gets hot out there, and you want to make sure you're comfortable. You can move around a little bit. And but that's for September games. October, I think you go boots and jeans. You have to have a cowboy hat, and you got to have an OSU polo. So keep it simple.
Okay. What about December? Because I think we have one December game this year.
Normally, if we make a December game, we're in Dallas at the Big 12 championship. So if you make a December, man, you got to go with the hoodie, maybe a Carhartt jacket if it's that cold.
Well, okay, sorry. November, normally we used to play OU Thanksgiving weekend.
Right.
And that's no longer the case.
Well, the November games this last year were really hot because I took Beckett to his first game, and I remember sweating up in the stands. So if you want to, you could pull up a Alan Bowman jersey or something and mix it up a little bit.
Oh.
It's his last year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we got a couple guys that are Catholic that actually are on the team. So you could wear a Walter Scheid jersey if you wanted to and support him and his family. But the people at OSU, the people of Stillwater, man, the tailgating community, I say, is bar none. You can't beat it here. Like, you really can't. People from K-State are coming to town and saying this is as good as it gets.
Yeah.
And it helps that we have generally a pretty good team, but it also helps being 30, 40, 50 yards from the stadium to be able to just have this kind of camaraderie. And us Catholics are known for enjoying a beer every now and then. So
every now and then. Okay, good. I need to remember that.
Just every now and then.
Just every now and then.
So it is such a fun culture, and I'd like to invite all of our listeners to come by and hang out with us on a Saturday and just enjoy cheering on the Pokes.
All 4 million of them?
Maybe everybody, just don't come on the same one. Mix it up a little bit.
Sprinkle yourselves out throughout the year.
Bit.
Yeah, it is. I'm really looking. I mean, we're a month out from school starting. And it's kind of frightening. I mean, we're getting a lot of ministry done, and we're getting a lot of things. We got more interns this year. They help out with some of these tailgates, and they do a lot of work around here. We have campus ministry interns. We have check this out. I think I got the number. Solid number. 28. 28 alums that went from St. John, who went to Mass here, were active in campus ministry, working in the Diocese of Tulsa, Oklahoma City, or studying to be priests or religious. Just in the last that I can, like, the number I can do in the last like 12 years.
That's special.
That's really
think about that for a second.
And that means we're also teaching people how to tailgate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I almost think these students here at St. John flipping away from tailgate, they get their cups full here and they go out to these parishes when they're adults and they start forming groups and they start being leaders in their parishes and they learn to truly spread the gospel.
Yeah.
And I think they learned that here at St. John.
They take the red solo cup of holiness and they get it filled up. And then, no? No, I thought that's where
Not-
you were going with that.
Not quite.
Well, it
That's
is
why I
like,
like the Toby Keith shout out there.
thank you. Rest in peace, Toby Keith.
Yep.
So like at the end of this month, myself, Clay, Father Porter is a
Yep.
priest at the TU Newman Center, and then Molly,
Mm-hmm.
and then Moose, Dustin, who worked for the diocese. We're going to get together and do a campus ministry powwow and just like get everybody together and in that world and just say like, what do we need to be doing here in the Diocese of Tulsa? How can we help each other's ministry grow? How can we leverage the power of the diocese and its influence and make this place an evangelization powerhouse? Because Jesus is Lord is the document that our bishop put out of helping people understand what is the mission of the church. The mission of the church is helping people understand that God loves them through Jesus Christ, his son, our Lord. And that's what we do. Like, when people come over here to these tailgates, I'm gonna tailgate off of you. That's not what I wanted to say. That we, people stop by for these tailgates and then they go inside the church. And it gives us an opportunity when we meet them to say, okay, can I give you a tour and teach you what this place is about? It's not just a building that looks really beautiful. It's an ancient church from 386 that we rebuilt here on the corner of Miller and Knobloch to share with people the gospel of Jesus Christ, that they would know that the Lord loves them and not only died on the cross, he rose from the dead so that they may have eternal life.
That's it, man.
And that's why we have tailgates.
I think tailgates are like a tool of what goes on here, but there's so many amazing things happening between these four walls. And I think we could do a whole podcast on all the amazing things happening, but there's so many good news happening. The students deserve a lot of praise for the efforts they give towards evangelizing their peers on campus. And a lot of great parents have raised their kids to get involved here. And when I see how holy these kids are and I leave for the day and I go into adoration and I see 20 or 30 students in adoration, it's inspiring to work at a place where, I want to be the best witness for them, and here these 20-year-olds are inspiring me to be a better dad, a better husband. So it's just, it's an encouraging place. And
okay, I'm gonna pull one. Favorite food at a tailgate?
Man, that is a million.
Or maybe favorite like refreshing drink at a tailgate?
I think you got to go with a PBR as a drink. It's just a classic beverage, and the red, white, and blue can. As far as food, man, shout out to Kathy Perry and Ashley Martin and our team, hospitality team. I think my favorite food has got to be, there's so many different. I mean, we do barbecue a lot. I think barbecue, pulled pork sandwiches, get a bag of chips, and get a PBR, and just go out and hang out. You can't beat that.
Whoa.
Pulled pork sandwich, bag of Lay's chips, PBR. Name something better.
We're doing some product placement here, so maybe PBR does have that blue ribbon on it. It was America's favorite. If you want to hear a little history on PBR,
maybe a Yingling too.
Oh yeah, go and listen to what it was called, Beer Wars between Budweiser and PBR, between Anheuser Busch and Mr. Pabst.
Right.
Okay. Golly, we're coming to the end.
This was great.
Now, this was we took a little pause. From deep dive into stuff, and we wanted to go into tailgates and invite people. Start putting it on their registry, their brain registration, their whatever
baby registry.
I don't have any children, so I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But anyway, to put that on the little noggin to remember that tailgates are coming up, football season's coming up. Come to Stillwater, stop by the corner of Miller and Knobloch. If you need a place to park, you can talk to Brett, and he'll sell you a couple parking spots, and come over and tailgate. Alumni out there all over America. Come back to Stillwater, to God's country. Wow.
Awesome. Pray for us. We'll pray for you.
Done, dude. Thank you. Brett Akins.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Have a beautiful day and come visit God's country. Peace.